And welcome to a new video for EVE Online, which I haven't made one in quite some time. So I had quit the game for maybe about a year or so, and the nice thing about this game is you can buy these 30-day pilot credits, and they give you time in the game per month, and I was able to purchase them through my in-game money because I have billions of ISK in this game because I'm probably in the top 5 wealthy, not top 5, but I'm pretty wealthy in this game compared to most. Probably in the top 1%. I'm probably a 1%er in this game, quite frankly. So I thought I would make another video just to show what's been going on in the game and what I'm doing and how I still make money in EVE Online, despite the massive amount of inflation that's occurred with the prices, massive amounts. And I know the game has tried to create what are called currency sinks, because what's happened is so much ISK has been created through asteroid belts, for example, just being magically recreated or replenished every few days, and mission rewards and ship destruction of what are called rats in the game. So when you blow up a ship in a mission, then you can get some loot and stuff like that. All of this has in a sense been a printing press, and it's created more and more currency. But when that happens, you have this economic effect of inflation, and then all the prices rise because people have tons of money, but the amount of goods are not growing as fast as the amount of currency, so you get prices. So that, again, that's another reason why I love this game, is there's real world factors that affect this game and the real world. And if you've ever heard of the EVE Online conferences, and there are conferences for this game, there actually is an economist who studies this game, and because of its market. Compare that to World of Warcraft, for example, right? Which does not have that kind of studying going on. So in this video, I wanted to discuss, I reset up a tower. There's been some added taxes in this game, and that's actually to combat the inflation. They've added, like I said, what are called sinks, and that's what destroy currency and able to try to control inflation. So there's been some added sinks, which are annoying for an industrialist. So just like if you're a businessman in the real world, when taxes go up, yeah, it's annoying. And sometimes you move to a different jurisdiction. You move to a tax haven or a lower taxed, just like what was it? Was it Google recently moved to Ireland? And all these big companies move around. There was whatever the company that owns Burger King and some other restaurants, they moved to Canada recently because it's lower taxes here. I actually did the same thing in this game. I moved to a different system because there's taxes now on the systems. So it's really irritating. I'm going to start a libertarian movement on this EVE Online game a Tea Party movement to rid ourselves of these taxes and these evil statists who are trying to screw us all over. But anyways, so in this video, I want to talk about the new tower setup that I've got. At the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the spreadsheet I have, and I actually think I might make that a separate video because I get a lot of messages of people, not only people wanting to take my account. They say, hey, have you quit? I'll take your account. I'm like, yeah, right. But they also want to know how I made so much money, and I guess it was a big shocker in those few videos I did years ago. People are like, holy crap, you have a lot of money, and how'd you do that? And, well, so I'll give you a video on that. So that'll be on my spreadsheet, how I've made money in this game. And then I'll talk about low-sec carriers, which I still build. Still pretty easy to do, minus some of the comments I've gotten in some of my other videos that people are saying you're lucky that you're not getting ganged or beaten up in the low-sec, and I've never had any problems in low-sec. So whatever. I guess it was that video I did where I took a dreadnought out for a spin, and people were like, holy crap, you shouldn't have done that. You could have someone could have scanned you down in 5 seconds. It's all nonsense. Come on. I'm a veteran in this game here. And then also Providences, I'll show you building one of those. And I actually might have one done because they were worth making. But that was maybe about 2 weeks ago. I tried to make an EVE Online video, and the graphics were all screwed up. So I didn't make it, but I'm making it now. So that Providence probably already built, because in the other video that I made, I actually was showing myself getting it ready, but in this video, I think it's already done. So anyways, let's get out. Okay, I'm in the wrong ship here, but let's get out to the tower. This ship actually is a scanning ship. It's a new ship, and it has huge bonuses to scanning, so that's why I have it. Anyways, I'll just get into the crazy taxi here because it's really fast. And so let me show you. So I moved to a different system. I used to be in Antiri or whatever, but I moved to a different system because of taxes. But it's funny, the new taxes, and I'll show you that right here. Let's see, industry. So systems now have taxes, and well, there's the system tax. So that's what I was looking for, the system cost. So when I was in Antiri, I think it was 3% or something like that. So I decided to move, and now where I am, yeah, let's do this. Now where I am, it's actually, let's see this when it comes up here. Now it's 3.2, and what happens is the system cost index is actually dependent on the usage in the system. So if people are the population in the system and if people are building stuff. So I didn't even think about this beforehand, but I thought, okay, I'm going to move from Ant because it had a higher tax, and then this place had a lower tax. But in moving here and building, raised the tax of this new system. So I kind of screwed myself there, but oh well, it wasn't really worth moving in the first place, but I did it anyways. So, okay, so I'll show you my tower, and I'll show you what I've got set up. So I am still building with it. I'm not doing research anymore because I have tons of blueprints that are sitting, waiting to be sold in Jeddah. Just tons, like I'll show you. Look at all this stuff I've got sitting in Jeddah. Look at all these blueprints, just billions. I probably have about 300 or something. I don't know, probably 300 blueprint copies sitting in Jeddah waiting to be sold. So I'm not copying stuff anymore because it's not worth it. I've got tons of it. So here's my tower right here. I've got set up here. I've got one lab because I was doing research on a fuel block, I think, just for an added PE on it, just for fun. But what I've got set up here is there's also really crappy in this game now processing of ore. It's a lot less efficient. It used to be like 99% or 99.5% if you had full skills, but now it's like 70% in a station because they take big chunks at you again. There's been all these provisions put in the game to try to limit inflation. So it's really screws your ore processing. So what I did is I built a reprocessing array out of my tower, and this array actually will process ore for you. And it's just instant. It's just as instant as the stations were. And so look, I've got a bunch of stuff in here. So I could process this right here. This scordite right here, I've got 0.28. So I can just process that, and then there. So there's minerals, and then what I do with those minerals is I put them in the component array. So I just use the R&D one there. And so I'll move this stuff into R&D, which is in the component array. And that is, I'll show you, that is this one right here. So this is a component array. So if I go in the component array, then it's got some blueprints, and then it's got all my minerals and stuff. So here's those new minerals. So I'll just put the stacks together there. So there's all the minerals I got sitting in the component array, which builds the capital components for the freighters that I built. And another thing that's changed in this game is you used to be able to use blueprints in an office, in a station in the same system, and then use those blueprints to build things at your tower. Now you actually have to take your blueprints out and put it actually in the assembly array at your tower. I think the reason they did that is for people who blow up towers. Now they blow up your blueprints too, and they want stuff destroyed. I remember the last conference that I watched online, the economics guy. I only watched the economics guy because it's really cool, the graphs and stuff that he makes about what's going on in Eve. And of course, being an industrialist, that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. He was saying, we want ships destroyed. We want towers destroyed. We want minerals destroyed. We want, because again, they're trying to combat inflation. It's just killing this game, really, the inflation. Like, trite is like way up at, what is it, 6 or something like that right now. It's just crazy. It used to be like 3 when I played a long time ago, but anyways. So, so the blueprints have to be out here now. And then what I do is when the components are all done in here, they'll pop out here. Then I will just put them right inside the large ship assembly array, and then that assembly array actually will make the freighters and stuff right here. So I've got a bunch sitting in here. some random components and stuff. So let's just see. If I remember rightly, I was already building a Providence in here. Oh, so I've got Orcus building actually. Oh no, those are research. Those are research. There's a Providence. So I can click deliver on that Providence. So it's a bit different now, this industry thing. If you haven't been playing in the EVE Online and you've only been watching my videos, you'll notice that things are very different now. So this setup is very different. I would say it's a little bit more cumbersome, but it's also more graphically enhanced, or there's more of an interface, I guess, but it doesn't make it more efficient necessarily. So there's the Providence right there. Now, one thing I didn't do is the way to get this Providence out of the assembly array is I actually have to put it in a maintenance array, which I did not anchor on my tower here. So I will not be able to move, like I think I might be, no, I can't assemble it. I have to assemble the Providence in a maintenance array. So what I do is I would take the Providence as an item. I would move it to an assembly array, which I haven't anchored, so it would be over here. And then I would click assemble, and then it would assemble itself in the maintenance array, and then I could get into it. I could launch it, and then it would float in space here and just sit by the tower. And then I could get into it as a pod, or I could even leave my, I'm in my little, it's not a shuttle, but it's like a little frigate. It's a really fast ship. I could leave it and then get into the Providence and fly away with it. So maybe I'll do that later, but I can't do that right now because I don't have a maintenance array. Okay, so that's the tower set up. Pretty much everything else is the same. And so that Providence could then be taken to Jeddah and sold, of course. So that's one way of making money. And when I did the calculations a while ago, the Providence was what I could be making money on. So let's go look at low sec now. And I'll show you the building of carriers and stuff, which I think I might also have something else done there, but I have to look. Let's just see. I can look actually here. So I've got Orcas, so I don't need Corp. So the Corp, of course, Corp is your tower, but if you're using a station, then it's just me, owned by me. So I've got stuff in Otsella. That's the low sec that I build out of. I've got stuff ready. Components and stuff, but I thought I built, yeah, there's a Shimra. So there's a Shimra awaiting in Otsella that's already finished, and there's a bunch of other random components here that are waiting to be delivered. I don't know if I can do that here. Oh, I can. I thought I had to be in the same region, so I can finish all these, and they will pop out, and then I think I probably have enough components in to build another Shimra, and then there's the Shimra awaiting as well. So I guess, let's see, I'll just, there's all the components and stuff that just popped out. And I probably can build another Shimra. I think that was the best thing for money right now is Shimras, which are Caldari carriers. I think they sold for about 1.5 or something like that right now. I actually have a Revelation, sitting in Otsella 2. It's a Dreadnought. That's worth quite a bit as well. Let me just see what the amounts were worth. There, this will work, and I'll take off that. There we go. Okay, here we go. So there's the Shimmers, 1 billion, 1.2 billion they're going for. So I just kind of take a look. Okay, these are all out of Forge region. So let's just see if there's any in Forge region. No, there's nothing in Forge. Nothing in Forge. That's not odd. So as soon as so there's one there, that's one in Forge. Usually I put a premium on stuff because it's in the Forge, but this one's in Forge. That's 2.35, and it's got a bunch of stuff with it, which I've never done. Some people have mentioned to me, why don't you put some modules and stuff with it? And I don't care. I've never had that problem. I do put fuel with it though. I put jump fuel because what people do is they'll launch the carrier and then they'll do a jump drive with it. So they'll jump to a tower in low sec or null sec or wherever they can go. And then to do that jump, so it's not just the regular Stargate jumps, it's actually a jump drive. And the jump drives will jump to other shuttles, or other frigates, that have a marker for them, so allies of them, or they're on another account of the same person, will have a frigate somewhere, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 jumps away from them, and then they will launch a sinus field, or something like that. I think it's called sinus field, something like that. And then they can use a jump drive to jump right to them, so they can do 8 jumps in one go, but it burns, what was it called? It burns fuel. Let me just see what it was called. It was one of the ice fuels. It burns this stuff, depending on the type. So this one, oxygen isotopes, that's for the Thanatos, which is Galente, but the not the helium. Helium, I think, is for Amar. Wasn't it nitrogen? Nitrogen. Oh, where is nitrogen? I don't have any down here. I think it was nitrogen isotopes is for Caldari. So the Shimura will use nitrogen isotopes to use its jump drive. So what I usually do is I lump the Shimura. I do a multiple item contract, and then put Shimura with nitrogen isotopes, and then sell that. Put that up here. Okay, so okay, so that Shimura was done. So let's deliver that. And then let's see if I can build another Shimura. I think I have enough components, we'll find out. Another thing annoying that this window is huge and I can't resize it, so it takes up my whole bloody screen. Okay, so let's go over here. Whoa, whoops. I guess the contract, let's just take that out. Okay, so let's use a Shimura blueprint. I've got two of them actually. So you pop that in there. And then there's all the components. So here's the station. Here's all the components. They're all registering as that I have. They're all there, and they're all ready to go. I've got no manufacturing jobs on right now. There's all my skills. And that's it. So notice, look at this. Look at the taxes. So Sala has a 1.8% tax. And then I guess that because I'm using a station, it's costing me another 10%. And that's off the base value of the Shimura. And the base value, I think, might be just something that Eve sets, like the Eve programmers set. I don't know what else it might be cost. See that base item cost of one bill just above the system cost index right here? See, this is, I don't know where they get that number from. I think it just might be something they set, or based on, maybe it's based on the minerals, or I have no idea how they calculate that. But anyways, I'm paying a 1.8, so this is all new stuff. I'm paying a 1.8% system cost. That's unavoidable, so I even will pay that when I use stuff in my tower in high sec. But the facility tax is because I'm using a station, not my tower, because this is way down in low sec, and I'm not going to put tower in low sec because it'll probably get blown up. Because low sec doesn't have low sec is PvP, so and I don't go down there for that. So I'm paying another 21. That 21 bill, you see this right here, this 21 million, I mean, ISK is a tax on me. So that has to be cut off the profit. So that's irritating to a business person. So if there's any Bernie Sanders people listening right now, see, this tax is a burden to my productivity and my wealth. Thank you very much. But anyways, this is all ready to go now, and then I could just click start, and I would pay the tax to make stuff for other people. And I'm producing stuff, so you can fly around in your Shimuras and your Dreadnoughts, but the state taxes me for that. Thanks a lot. So that's ready now. So that's going 10 days. It says here 10 days it's being built. And in the meantime, of course, I can also build more components to then build another Shimura, right? So all these components right now, this is delayed 5 minutes. So all these components right now have just been consumed and are being processed into the Shimura for 10 days. But I could start building more components now. Okay, so I showed the Providence. So maybe what I'll do is I will pause the video. I will go get a maintenance array, and then I will show you launching the Providence. How would I do that? Because that would probably be fun. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I grabbed a ship maintenance array, and I've got some ice that I grabbed just that I had sitting there, Jetta, so I think I can process that. I can just pop it in here and process it. This ice, I can put in there. Let's just try it. See if this ice will process. There we go. Nice. Okay. All right, so let's get the maintenance array. So what we do is we launch our corporation. There it is, right there. All this clutter, all these windows clutter everything, don't they? Okay, and then we go anchor, and I'm going to put it kind of near the assembly array because I'm going to have to be able to drag the ships into it. So maybe something like that would be fine. So let's put it there. There we go. So it's gonna anchor, just takes a few seconds. Now I'm gonna online it because I need to use it. The problem is that this, I bet you, won't work because I'm a little bit out of power. So let's try it.
Insufficient power.
Yeah, so I'm out of power just by a tiny bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put offline one of these shields. So I'll put this offline, and then I'll put online the maintenance array. There we go. So I won't need to have the maintenance array on unless I'm using it to move a freighter. So that won't be that big of an issue. I do, however, need to come out with a pod, so I need to go and dock and then come back out in a pod. So I'll just do that really quickly and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm out here with the shuttle, and I had to move the maintenance array. It wasn't close enough, so it was giving me some problems. Because all of this, what I'm doing right now, has to have a maintenance array already online and near the assembly array, or this won't work. Because what you have to do is you have to assemble from this Providence, which is right now an item, you have to make it into the ship inside the assembly array, and then so it'll be huge, and so it's the whole ship really. And then you move the whole ship into the maintenance array, and then you can fly it. So I'm going to do that right now. So we'll assemble it inside the assembly array. So there, now it's huge and it's taking up pretty much the entire space of the assembly array. And then what you do is you move it into the maintenance array, like this. So now it's in the maintenance array, and then now I can get into it if I want. So board ship, for example. So right now I'm just in a crappy little shuttle, and I actually could launch the ship and then it flies out. And kind of, maybe I'll do that just for fun. No one's around, so it shouldn't be a problem. So there it is right there. And you actually can bump it by running into it, and then it will move and fly out a bit. Like I could do that just for fun, because I can chase it down, so it's not a problem. But you could potentially bump it outside your bubble, outside the tower, and then someone could actually hop into it and fly it away on you, and you'd lose your ship. Because right now, anyone could jump into it, but because I'm in a bubble in my tower, no one can get in here but me, and anyone else I let in, right? So right now it's just floating there, and I think it would stay there for a few days. I don't think it would get deleted, but it would eventually get deleted, just like when you have cans that you mount out in in asteroid belts. That stuff only stays there for a few days, but this will stay there, I think, also for a few days. But I'm gonna grab it, so I'm gonna board ship. So now I'm in it, and my little shuttle is sitting there. I wonder what I guess I'd have to come out and get it with a pod, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. So I wonder if I could kind of dock it inside here. Store vessel. Let's try that. So I'm going to get into the shuttle for a second. So there's the shuttle. I'm in the shuttle now. I got out of the Providence. I'm going to see if I can put the shuttle inside the maintenance array. So if I do store vessel. Yes. Okay, there. Looks like it is. So there's the pod again. And my shuttle is in the maintenance array. So now I can pilot. Now I'll get into the Providence. Oh, okay, I have to wait a couple seconds. Very good. There we go. Now I can fly. So now I could fly it to the station here and dock with it. So there you go. So there's a giant Providence. I think those are worth 1.2 or 1.3 right now billion. They're a lot more than they used to be. I think they used to be like about 750 or 800 mil, but now they're more expensive because, of course, the inflation's about nearly doubled a lot of prices. Doubled certainly the pilot licenses, doubled tritanium, which is the main mineral in the game, and it's doubled a lot of things. So anyway, so that's been my new, what I've been doing new in the game right now. So I got the tower and all that. So I will in another video show you, and I'll talk a bit about maybe my history in playing the game and how I've made money and how I got up to billions of ISK. But anyways, this is what I'm currently doing. Maybe I log in once or twice a week and just kind of set things up and get stuff building, because stuff takes time to build. They take days and days to build. So this has been my my recent industrial activities. It's so much higher taxes now that really crunches the profit margins. But so if you have any questions or comments or things you want to see, just let me know.